Today we are going to speak about Forta project. It's a really great project that will change the future of security for the smart contracts. Forta is a real-time threat detection for smart contracts. It works with agents that could be written for now in JavaScript and Python and deployed to Forta environment. And everybody could use it. It has very good support and interfaces for developers. And today I'm going to show you how to build your first Forta agent and deploy it to the Forta environment. Forta project has a very good documentation for developers. Here, if you want to build your first Forta agent, you should go to forta.org. Here you could see developer SDKs. Let's go here. And from the left side, you could see quick start guide. And let's go through the whole steps together with you. So in the quick start guide, we have following prerequisites. As you could create your agent using JavaScript or Python, you should install Node.js or Python on your machine, and you need to install Docker on your machine because finally the agent that you are going to develop should be Dockerized and pushed to the remote repository to make it work. Then when you're ready, you could go with initialization. Let's do it together. So let's create simple project. On my local machine, I'm going to create it in my development folder. So let's create first agent, my first demo Forta agent. Let's cd to this folder. What we should do next, when we installed Node.js, npx will be available for us, so we could run following command that is going to initialize our Forta template project. Let's do it. When you initializing your project, new key file is going to be generated, so you need to provide some password for it. Let's provide some simple password. And all needed configuration files and key files will be generated on your machine. Let's go through documentation. So we initialized our project, And the next step, that we should do, we need to install on dependent, or we need to install on all dependencies. Let's do it together. Sorry, make a mistake. Let's open IntelliJ IDEA. I am using Ultimate version. You could use Community Edition. It also should work. Okay, so we created our Forta project and loaded to the IntelliJ. Let's go here. In this file, there is two main functions. It is handle transaction function and handle block function. These both functions is triggered. One is reacts on transaction in the blockchain, and it's take a transaction event as an input, and another handles block event and accepts block event object. Transaction event is a class that is created in the Forta Agent library, and you could simply take it and reuse it. Here, as you could see, that it is from Forta Agent. There are a lot of information that could be taken from the transaction event. There is from address to address. You could take status. You could take gas that is used, gas price, timestamp, block number, block hash. Yeah. So let's go to the example function. In this project, you could see that gas used is taken, and simply this function monitors all transactions that has gas greater than following value. Yeah, so I propose to go through with this example and try to run it, check how it works, and deploy it. What next steps we need to do for this? Let's go through documentation. So for the manual testing, what we need to do, we need to configure our properties. We need to go to the Forta folder. This folder was created automatically during our project initialization. Let's check. Here it is. And in this Forta folder, we have two files. One is a key file, and another is a Forta config. Let's take a look what we have in our Forta config. In Forta config, we have JSON RPC URL. Here it is stated that we need to configure this URL endpoint, Infura endpoint. Using this endpoint, we are going to get information regarding transactions that take place in the Ethereum network to create your, and now I will show you how you should create your Infura IP key to make it available for you. So you should go to the Infura and you should go to the Ethereum path and you should create your new project. Let's call it Forta Demo. Create, and here is the URL that you need to use. Let's copy it and paste it to the JSON RPC endpoint. What we should do next when we initialize this property, currently we could simply run npm start. Let's open the terminal and run npm start. Let's start once again. So here you could see that project is working, and actually there is a findings. We have first finding where this particular transaction has a gas used greater than the value that we defined. Yeah, so it's really working, and it's working on our local machine. So in this way, you are able to check the transaction on your, if it's working on your local machine before deployment, right? What's also interesting, what I also like in this project, that even if you don't want to run this against mainnet, you could also define testnet endpoint in the gRPC URL, and also you could write specs and run integration local isolated integration test of your and check behavior of your agent without connection to the Ethereum Ethereum network. So here is a spec of this where we creating a mocked event, and there is two tests here. One test, in the first place, we are testing the case when there is no finding, and another case when there is a finding. And when we defined such kind of test, we are able to run it. Let's you simply need to run following command: npm test. And here you go. You could see that the test was successful. Okay, now when we know how to write the code, how to run it manually, how to write the tests, we need to deploy our project. So to deploy our project, we should go to this documentation, deploying your agent. Currently, Forta Agent registry located in the testnet. So what you need to do at the first place, you should go to the following faucet, and you should claim some Ethereum to your wallet. One important thing, what address you should use to claim your wallet. You should go to the Forta folder. Let's go to the Forta folder. In the Forta folder, there is a key file. Let's go to this key file. And here you could see the address. You should copy your address. You should go to the Ethereum testnet. Let's search for this address. And actually, this address is missing following prefix, so you should copy after search the whole complete address and claim Ethereum for it. To claim your address, you should use Twitter. Let's paste this address and make a tweet. Then I will copy this link to this tweet. Then I will paste this link here and claim the tokens. Actually, I already did it yesterday, so there is some limits already defined for my Twitter account. So I will continue the demo with the address that I have already claimed tokens. We should define additional configuration in our project. First of all, we should go to the package JSON. Let's go to the package JSON and change the name here. Okay. And also, we should go to the Forta config JSON file. We should define a IPFS gateway URL because it is required to publish your agent's metadata. We should use following URL, and also we should define IPFS gateway auth. It is needed for our authorization. For this, we need to go. We should go to the Infura once again. Let's go to the app IPFS. Let's create new project, Forta demo. So we have project idea and project secret. Let's copy it to our Sublime. Let's copy the whole string. In the documentation, it is stated that we should use base 64. So what we need to do, we need to convert it to the base 64. We could do it with the following command. Here is URL that we need. Here is the secret that we need. And let's copy it here for now. Then we should go to our Forta config and change following properties. We should set IPFS gateway URL. And we should set encrypted. Okay. What we need to do next, we also need to initialize agent registry JSON RPC URL. We could simply copy this path. We already have our Infura project ID. Let's copy this URL here, part of this URL here, and project ID, it is this one. Yeah. Okay, we set all needed parameters in our configuration file. Now we should read some documentation. So this is an example, so I will leave this documentation as it is, but before deployment, it's very important for you to put some description here, put the list of supported chains, put the list of alerts that you are going to trigger, and you should also put testing data. Okay, so, and now we are going to publish our project. You also need to run a Docker on your machine. Here you could see that I'm running a Docker on my computer. And let's run npm publish. Now we need to enter a password that we used for our key file. I'm using my own key file here because I don't want to request Ethereum once again. So you could see that our project was successfully pushed to Forta environment. And here is an agent ID. Project deployed. You could go to the following URL, Forta Explorer. Here is, you could see the UI where you could see the whole list of alerts, and you could take the agent ID that were generated during deployment and check the alerts that are generated by your agent. So I think it's pretty much for this video. Thank you everybody for your time. I hope this video will be helpful for new joiners and you will enjoy developing your own agents on Forta. Thank you guys. Bye.